You know what's crazy? Most people think financial freedom is just one thing. You're either rich or you're broke, free or trapped, but that's not how it actually works. Financial freedom isn't a destination you suddenly arrive at one day. It's a ladder with very specific rungs, and most people don't even know which level they're on. Here's what's even more interesting. People at different levels think they're at completely different places than they actually are. I've met people making $200,000 a year who are stuck at level 1. And I've met people making $50,000 who've reached level 3. Income isn't the determining factor here. Your habits and decisions are. My name is Mike. And today we're breaking down the 5 levels of financial freedom so you can figure out exactly where you are right now and, more importantly, what you need to do to climb to the next level. If you want honest talk about money without the BS, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Now, before we dive into the levels, let me be clear about something. This isn't about shaming anyone for where they are. We all start somewhere. I've been at level 1 and it sucked. But knowing where you are is the first step to getting somewhere better. So let's be brutally honest about this. Level 1. Survival mode. Living paycheck to paycheck. This is where most Americans are right now, and if you're here, you know exactly what I'm talking about at level 1. You're not thinking about building wealth or investing for the future. You're thinking about making it to Friday without overdrafting your account. Here's what level 1 actually looks like. You get paid, and that money is already spent before it hits your account. Rent is due, car payment is due, credit card minimums are due. You've got maybe $100 to $500 in your checking account at any given time. And that's if you're lucky. Most people at this level have less than $400 in savings, which means one unexpected expense becomes a full-blown crisis. Your car needs a $600 repair. That's not just annoying, that's catastrophic. You're putting it on a credit card you can't afford to pay off, you're borrowing from family. You're doing whatever it takes to survive until the next paycheck. And the worst part? The stress is constant. You're checking your bank balance before every purchase. You're declining social invitations because you literally can't afford to go out. You're one emergency away from complete financial disaster. The psychological toll of level 1 is brutal. You can't think about the future because you're too busy managing the present. You can't take risks because you have zero margin for error. You're trapped in whatever job you have because you can't afford to be unemployed for even 2 weeks. This is what real financial prison feels like. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Some people at level 1 are making $30,000 a year, and that makes sense. But I've also seen people making $80,000 or $100,000, stuck at level 1 because their spending scaled with their income. They bought a bigger house, nicer cars, and more expensive lifestyle. Now they're broke at a higher income level. Same stress, bigger numbers if you're at level 1. The only goal right now is getting to level 2. And the way you do that is by creating a gap between what you earn and what you spend. Even if it's just $100 per month at first. That gap is everything. That's your escape route. Level 2. Stability, emergency fund established. Level 2 is where you finally have some breathing room. You're not rich, you're not financially free, but you're also not one emergency away from disaster anymore. The defining characteristic of level 2 is having an emergency fund, eventually building to 3 to 6 months of expenses. Here's what changes when you reach level 2. That car repair that would have destroyed you at level 1? Now it's just annoying, you're frustrated about spending the money. But you're not panicking. You're not putting it on a credit card at 23% interest. You're pulling from savings, fixing the problem, and rebuilding that emergency fund over the next few months. The psychological shift from level 1 to level 2 is massive. You sleep better, you're not constantly stressed about money. You can actually think beyond just surviving until Friday. You start asking questions like, how can I increase my income? Instead of, how am I going to pay this bill? At level 2, you're still living to paycheck in the sense that you're not investing yet. But you have a cushion, most of your money is still going to expenses and bills. But you're no longer in crisis mode, you've broken free from the survival trap. Here's what most people at level 2 do wrong. They hit this level and immediately increase their lifestyle. They finally have some money saved, so they upgrade their apartment or buy a nicer car. They mistake level 2 for making it and immediately sabotage themselves back to level 1. Don't do this. Level 2 is not the destination. It's base camp. The goal at level 2 is to stay here long enough to build that full emergency fund, and then start redirecting money toward investments. You're building the foundation for level 3, which is where things get really interesting. Most people spend years at level 2, some spend their entire lives here. And honestly, level 2 isn't terrible. You're stable, you can handle emergencies. You're not constantly stressed, but you're still trading time for money with no end in sight. You're still completely dependent on your paycheck. If you lose your job, you've got 3 to 6 months before you're in trouble. Level 3. Building wealth, investing, and net worth growing. Level 3 is where you transition from surviving to actually building something. This is where your money starts working for you instead of you just working for money. The defining characteristic of level 3 is consistent investing and growing net worth. At level 3, you're contributing to retirement accounts. You're investing in index funds, you might be building a side business or buying rental properties. Your net worth is going up every month, not just from your contributions, but from compound growth. This is where the snowball starts rolling. Here's what's different about level 3. You have your emergency fund fully funded. You're not worried about unexpected expenses anymore. Beyond that, you're putting 15 to 20% or more of your income toward investments. You're thinking in 5 to 10-year time frames instead of just making it to the next paycheck. The math at level 3 starts getting exciting. If you're investing $1,000 per month at 8% returns, you're looking at $150,000 in 10 years. Those numbers aren't retirement yet, but they're real wealth. That's, I can weather a job loss for a year money. That's, I can take a sabbatical money. That's options. But here's what people at level 3 struggle with. This level takes patience. You're doing everything right. You're investing consistently. But your investment account might only have $10,000 or $20,000 in it. It doesn't feel like much. The temptation is to get impatient and do something stupid, chase crypto, day trade. Invest in your cousin's startup. Resist that temptation. Level 3 is about boring consistency. It's about showing up every month and investing that money regardless of what the market is doing. It's about letting compound interest work its magic over years and decades. Most people who reach level 3 stay here for 10 to 20 years. And that's actually fine. You're building real wealth. You're on track for a comfortable retirement. You're making smart decisions. Level 3 is where the middle class who understands money lives. The transition from level 3 to level 4 happens when your investments start generating meaningful income. When the dividends and growth from your portfolio start feeling like real money, not just numbers on a screen for most people. This happens when they hit somewhere between $200,000 and $500,000 in invested assets. Level 4, financial independence. Passive income covers basics. Level 4 is where things get really interesting. And it's where most people never reach at level 4. Your passive income covers your basic living expenses. You could quit your job today and survive. You wouldn't be living large, but you wouldn't be homeless either. Here's what level 4 actually means. Let's say your basic expenses are $3,000 per month. That's rent or mortgage, utilities, food, insurance, the basics at level 4. You're generating at least $3,000 per month from sources that don't require you to trade your time. This could be investment dividends, rental property income, business income that's systematized, royalties, or whatever. The key is that if your job disappeared tomorrow, you'd be okay. You might not be able to afford luxuries, but you could pay your bills indefinitely. This is real freedom, not retirement necessarily, but freedom from being forced to work at level 4. Your relationship with work completely changes. You're no longer working because you have to, you're working because you choose to. Maybe you love your job and want to keep doing it. Maybe you switch to something lower paying but more fulfilling. Maybe you start a passion project that might never make money. The point is, you have options. Here's the brutal truth about reaching level 4. For most people, it requires either significant investment portfolios, $500,000, $1 million plus, successful businesses, or multiple streams of income built over many years. It's not impossible, but it's also not easy. This is why most people never get here. The math on level 4 varies wildly depending on your expenses. Someone living in a low cost of living area spending $2,500 per month can reach level 4 much faster than someone in a high-cost city spending $6,000 per month. This is why geographic arbitrage is so powerful. If you're at level 4, you've accomplished something most people never will. You've broken free from mandatory employment, but you're not necessarily rich. You're financially independent for your basic needs, but luxuries still require earned income or drawing down your principal. Level 5, full financial freedom, luxury lifestyle covered. Level 5 is the top of the mountain. This is what most people picture when they think financial freedom at level 5. Your passive income doesn't just cover your basics. It covers the lifestyle you actually want to live. Travel, nice dinners, hobbies, helping family, whatever matters to you. Here's the difference between level 4 and level 5. At level 4, you can survive without working. At level 5, you can thrive without working. You're not thinking about money anymore. You're thinking about purpose, impact, legacy, how you want to spend your time on Earth at level 5. You might be generating $50,000 plus per month in passive income. Your investment portfolio might be $2 million. Or you've built and sold businesses, or you've created income streams that just keep paying you. The psychological experience of level 5 is hard to explain to people who haven't reached it. Money stops being a consideration in daily decisions, not because you're being reckless, but because your passive income is so far above your spending that it just doesn't matter. You're not trying to get richer anymore. You're trying to figure out what to do with your time and resources. Here's what's interesting about people at level 5. Many of them keep working, not because they need to, but because they're working on projects they're passionate about. They're building things, creating value, solving problems they care about. The difference is they're doing it from a position of complete freedom. The brutal reality is that most people will never reach level 5, not because it's impossible, but because it requires decades of discipline, smart decisions, and often some level of calculated risk-taking. It requires building businesses, making investments, creating value at scale. But here's the thing, level 5 isn't necessary for a good life. Most people who reach level 4 are incredibly happy and fulfilled. They have freedom, they have options, they have security. Level 5 is amazing if you get there, but it's not required for financial peace. Where are you and what's next? So here's the real question. Where are you right now? And more importantly, what do you need to do to reach the next level? If you're at level 1, your entire focus needs to be on creating a gap between income and expenses. Cut ruthlessly, increase income however you can, and save that first $1,000. Get to level 2 as fast as humanly possible because level 1 is a trap that will keep you stuck forever. If you're at level 2, your goal is building that full emergency fund and then starting to invest. Even if it's just $50 per month at first, start the investing habit, open that Roth IRA. Set up automatic contributions to index funds. The amount doesn't matter as much as building the habit. If you're at level 3, stay the course. I know it's boring. I know the progress feels slow, but you're doing everything right. Keep investing consistently. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Give compound interest time to work. You're building real wealth even if it doesn't feel like it yet. If you're at level 4, congratulations. You've reached a level most people never will. Now it's about optimizing. Maybe you can work less. Maybe you pursue passion projects. Maybe you help others climb the ladder. You have freedom, use it intentionally. If you're at level 5, honestly. Why are you watching YouTube finance videos? You figured it out, but if you are here, please drop a comment and share what helped you get there because other people need to hear it. Here's the thing that nobody tells you about these levels. Moving up is hard, but moving down is incredibly easy. I've seen people go from level 4 back to level 1 because of bad business decisions, divorces, health problems, or just lifestyle inflation getting out of control. The climb up takes discipline, patience, and smart decisions over years or decades. The fall down can happen in months. This is why even when you reach higher levels, you never stop being intentional about money. Look, financial freedom isn't about being rich. It's about having options. It's about not being forced to do things you hate just to survive. It's about building a life where money serves you instead of you serving money. Whatever level you're at right now is fine. There's no shame in being at level 1 or level 2. We all start somewhere. What matters is that you're honest about where you are and you're taking action to climb to the next level. Because here's the truth. The difference between levels isn't luck. It's not genetics, it's not some secret knowledge. It's decisions, it's habits, it's consistency over time. Everything you need to climb to the next level is within your control. So figure out where you are, be honest about it, and then focus everything on reaching the next level. Not 5 levels from now, just the next one. That's how you build real wealth. That's how you achieve real freedom, one level at a time. If this helped you identify where you are and what to do next, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below telling me which level you're at and what your next move is. I read every comment and I'm genuinely curious where everyone is on this journey. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.